Hello, friends. Welcome to this lecture series. I am your teacher, Professor Nirmal Kumar Swain, Department of Library and Information Science, MD University, Rohtak, Haryana. So we were discussing abstract and abstracting. In last two modules, I discussed about the general aspect, types, and how abstract is useful. But in this module, we will discuss about abstracting, how to design, how to make, or how a best way of making abstract. Best way of making a good abstract. Well, if you remember abstract in our previous modules, I discussed about abstract is a shorter version, how shorter or how little descriptive shorter version. Then we say it is informative and descriptive abstract. But the now question is that abstract making of an abstract. Well, abstract gives a representative version of full text, I told you, but again countering this statement, it may so happen that while reading the abstract also, on the basis of abstract, when we read or subscribe the full text of a research paper or journal article, and there is a great mismatch between abstract and your journal full text article. So then the use of abstract is not solved here. Why does it happen? Journal publication, there are standard publishers, there are abstract is the publisher asks the author to make an abstract. Sometimes authors are very curious, they don't mention those aspects in their full text article, but they do mention in the abstract. So the publishers, they trust the authors, probably authors did the right things, or authors are the real judges or real people who can make the abstract carefully, but sometimes it doesn't happen. So that's why abstract making is very difficult because again, if it is informative abstract, they ask you to write in 100 words. If it is 101 words even, then probably it won't be accommodated. The exactly space or word count is there fixed in the software. Okay, so this is about, and obviously the author is the sole authority making of a good abstract. But just to restrict or to the deviations or some kind of confusion over this, especially the big publishers may be Elsevier, Springer, Emerald, all these big Oxford University Press, OUP, CUP, and there are many academic publishers or the database people. So they designed a structure of making an abstract, so that author is assigned a structure. Within that structure you need to mention. So there are every chances of being wavered, you will be restricted, confusion is restricted. What is that structure? So they are given categories. I am recalling the Emerald group, which publishes a largest number of books or journals in library and information science and in the field of management sciences, behavioral sciences. So they 4 or 5 categories they have mentioned, and this criteria differs from one publisher to another publisher, from one journal to another. Sometimes categories like research problem, one is research problem, methodology defined, population and sampling, findings, and the suggestions, 4 or 5. And sometimes one and the same thing, other groups or the journal publishers also mention the similar categories, 2 categories of 2 criteria rather, or 3 criteria, but one is common, 2-3 categories are common to each and every publishers or journal articles. One is your research problem, methodology used, and finding. These 3 are almost common to all, because what is your findings? And then additionally the population and sample and suggestion also, or suggestions or future use or future research sometimes. So by this suppose we write according to the criteria given, so there are every chances. So suppose methodology used, we are forced to mention exact or specific methods used in our research paper. It could be survey based, it could be scientometric, it could be critical studies in literature. People use critical studies, so critical appreciation. Okay, so and again the abstract should be restricted to 150 or 200 words, including the words mentioned in the criteria. So that we are forced, or we are structured our abstract writing into that framework, so that there are less chances of being wavered or being what to say, bit confused or over emphasizing, or including those which are not available in your included in your full text. So this is a structure. This is why we can make a good abstract. So this is an act by writing this, so that because abstract there is a direct connection with the readers. Readers read those abstract. On the basis of that, they go for reading, or they go for buying or subscribing the full text articles or the entire journal itself. Hope this is useful for your syllabus. Thanks for watching.